Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be giving you my spoiler-filled, enthusiastic, and very, very satisfied and happy film review for the latest installment featuring our favorite Dark Knight, The Batman, which dropped in theaters starting today. Oh, man, well done to everybody involved. Now, before I get into all of that, of course, obviously, like I just mentioned a few seconds ago, this is a spoiler, and I mean spoiler-filled review. So if you intend to watch The Batman this weekend at some point, do not keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be discussing huge spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. Stuff you don't want ruined for you. So, again, if you haven't seen it, don't keep watching or listening. If you have seen it, please keep watching and listening. Okay, so spoiler warning is issued. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, oh, wow. I mean, for years, I've always been reminded, or I've heard about how Batman, Bruce Wayne, is like the best, most brilliant detective in the DC universe. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about the DCEU, which is the cinematic universe that we've known for the past 9 years, starting with Man of Steel. No, I just mean like in comics and like in the comics and TV and movies and whatnot, Bruce Wayne, Batman, is a brilliant detective. And every Batman movie or installment, whether it's a TV show or a movie featuring a live action Batman Bruce Wayne, we've seen him do a little detective work. It's always been a part of the story or part of his character or his arc. But we've never seen a story entirely committed to this film noir mystery genre set driven story until now in this film, and it was great. It still had some very exciting action-packed sequences that were very cool, very memorable. But the film, for me at least, kept my interest from beginning to end. Now, granted, I might have an implicit bias because Batman is my all-time favorite superhero. However, despite that fact, despite how there were some great, well-crafted action sequences properly scattered throughout the film, most of this movie is dialogue and character-driven. But it worked. It was interesting. It was still very exciting. You're seeing all these characters meet each other or reunite for the first time, and it just works. You know, there's even some voiceover narration from Bruce Wayne, Robert Pattinson. And he only does it once or twice in the movie, like in the beginning and the end of the film. And he does a narration just like in those old detective black and white films from back in the day, those old film noir films like Maltese Falcon or whatnot. You know, but it worked. It was in a superhero setting, but it still worked. You know, there's a real mystery and an investigation driving a majority of the plot of this film and its characters, and it worked. You know, I think it kind of threw me off a little bit at first because I wasn't used to seeing Batman in this context, which is he's doing an actual criminal investigation and trying to prevent further loss of life and trying to stop the mastermind behind it. But it's not some world-ending plot, although he did almost destroy Gotham City at the end of it. Riddler did. So, but even despite all that, as the movie grew on me as it went along, and I'm like, okay, this is working for me. This is great. This is like a police drama with Batman. I'm here for it. Or like a crime thriller featuring Batman characters. A film noir with Batman characters. Cool. It works. So, really enjoyed it. Everybody nailed it with their respective roles. Everybody was so good, especially Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I can't believe that hot Irish man, in that awesome, brilliant makeup and fat suit he was wearing. He totally killed it. Well done to him and everybody else too, but his performance in particular really stood out to me because it's just not the kind of character we're used to seeing a very good-looking, handsome leading man like that play. And it just shows you how talented he is as an actor. You know, unless you knew it was Colin Farrell, you're like, that's not Colin Farrell. Who is that? So well done to him. But everybody involved was great. Everybody really nailed it with their respective characters. I totally bought Robert Pattinson as a young Bruce Wayne / Batman, and that goes for all the other characters too. Everybody, no matter who they were playing, was great. So well done to everyone involved. You know, towards the end of the film there, when Riddler's in Arkham, and we see a fellow cellmate talking to him, it's pretty evident that it's most likely the Joker, but because of the sunlight coming through the cell, it almost looks like his face was disfigured or fucked up, so it could have been Two-Face. At least that's what I heard the guy next to me say. I'm like, oh yeah, it could be. But then when that laugh started, I'm like, nah, very few Batman villains laugh that hearty psycho laugh. That's got to be Joker. But nothing was confirmed or revealed to us, at least officially, so only time will tell. And, you know, in the final act of the film, after Riddler's crazy followers start shooting up the place as it's flooding after the bombs go off, the film almost changes genres from the detective-driven noir crime thriller story to the action-packed superhero bit that they saved for the big grand finale, and it worked. You know, it was, yes, a long 3-hour film, but it keeps your interest from beginning to end, and it had this great final send-off, this final payoff in the big grand finale, which was defeating Riddler's followers, saving the mayor and all those people, and basically saving the day. I also thought, I really loved the scene when he he emerges from the water after getting rid of that electrical hazard, and he lights the flare, and I realize, oh, this is it. This is the act that will forever cement him, solidify him as a hero in the eyes of the people of this city, saving the mayor and her people, and then all the other people who were there as well. And even the news headline on the TV said, Batman saves hundreds in event dome disaster, or whatever it said. But I'm like, this is it, because he's still fairly new at this. That's why he's earned the ire of the police department, because he's only been at it for 2 years, even though Gordon is the only one who seems to like and respect him and trust him, more importantly. And I'm like, this is it. This is how he finally gains favor with most of Gotham City, you know, in this final act of actually being a hero and saving lives, instead of going out beating up criminals, which was still very satisfying to watch. And, you know, I realized as the movie unfolded, I'm like, damn, they kind of showed some of the best shots or scenes in all of the trailers, which is a common complaint with many movies nowadays. But I also realized while watching the film, boy, it sure does look good, blends and comes together beautifully, and makes so much sense when you see it in context. You know, instead of just splits and pieces of footage throughout the film and whatnot, like you see in a trailer, seeing it in its entirety as a whole made it all the more satisfying, even though a lot of the action shots and bits we had already seen in some of the trailers. It was still a very fun, satisfying watch, a very good movie, and a very good Batman movie. So I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't really have many expectations going into it. I just wanted a fun, good Batman movie, and that's exactly what I got, so I'm very satisfied with it. I will probably see this at least 1 or 2 more times because I enjoyed it so much, and just so much is happening and going on, but it's still easy to follow. In fact, it's a hell of a lot easier to follow than some of the other movies I've seen in the past year or two. Older movies, too. Not new releases, but older stuff that's been out forever. This film had a relatively easy plot to follow, despite the many layers to it. It all made sense and came together. So I really enjoyed it, as I hope you guys did too. Did you have any favorite moments, characters, scenes, or standout moments that really made you smile? Oh my God, I gotta talk about the soundtrack real quick. Loved the soundtrack. That Michael, oh damn it, of course I can't remember or say his last name, but the guy who scored the first Jurassic World film scored this movie as well. Excellent composer, beautiful theme. Oh, I absolutely loved this theme music. So good. So good. I'm going to have to listen to it later tonight, actually. Well, guys, that is my review for The Batman. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. What did you think of it? I would love to hear your thoughts, feelings, and on it. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe for more film reviews like this one, as we have so many more movies to look forward to this year and beyond. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks again for watching. The Batman is now playing exclusively in movie theaters. Tickets are on sale now. Go see it. It's a fun time. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching. And, of course, until next time, what's your favorite movie?